Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Friday, April 4th, 2025, when we are recording this edition of Something Extra. My friend Lauren Moss is still out. She will be back very soon. She is away enjoying her time off, and deservedly so. I want to bring everyone in and say hello. And also, how are you? How are you? How are things where you are? And I get it. Not everyone's doing the best right now for a multitude of reasons, whatever they may be. I'm thinking about you. I really am. I truly am. I'm really thinking a lot about our friends who are impacted by those storms throughout our area. And look, there are a lot of you who've been impacted by those storms. Specifically, Marshall County got rocked by 2 tornadoes in less than a week. Thinking about them, thinking about our friends in Stark County as well. Thinking about those hard hit in Elkhart County, even though it technically was not a tornado, according to the National Weather Service, right? But we know a lot of you got the brunt of those storms, and I was there less than a year ago after that tornado hit. So you guys didn't eat this either. So Elkhart City and Elkhart County, we're thinking of you as well. St. Joseph County, you guys got hit hard, especially in the southern parts of the county. Really no corner of our area went without seeing some form of damage as a result of not one, but 2 different storms in about a week. Cass County, we're thinking about you up there and our friends at Eagle Lake, Diamond Lake. We're thinking about all of you all in Cass County, Berrien County as well. Anybody impacted by those storms, we are thinking about you. And at a time like this, I wanted to do this podcast primarily because we talk so much about what has happened as it relates to the forecast, as it relates to the weather and the scenes that we have seen on the ground, the cleanup efforts underway, the restoration efforts. A lot of you still without power at this hour. Not as many as there were Sunday, Monday, but man alive, a lot of you guys are still without power. The fridge, you guys have thrown everything out at this point probably. I know I have. I had power for I think power was out for about 28 hours at my house, and I threw everything away because I get paranoid with food, stuff like that. So I don't know if you are the same way. I am definitely the same way. If the refrigerator is off and it is not cold when I open it after 12 to 24 hours, I'm throwing everything away. I don't care how much it costs, especially now. I have to throw eggs away. That's like throwing away gold, by the way. So I've always been that way when it comes to food and anything that goes in my body. I'm just like, okay, I'd rather buy something else than have food poisoning or something like that. The reason I'm doing this podcast also is to highlight some groups. And I want to preface everything by saying these are not all of the groups who have done something, who have been involved in their communities over the last few days following these storms. But these are just some of the groups that I want to name here. And I just want to give them credit. I just want to give these groups credit because I am seeing people talk about you all. There are a lot of people out there who are helping neighbors, helping each other, helping businesses, and businesses helping people in this time as you clean up and as you try to restore and get back to some semblance of normalcy. And they don't want the recognition. They tell people, do not use my name, but here's a check. Do not use my name, but here's some food. Those are the folks I want to thank as well, because there are a lot of you out there. I've met you personally. I get it. I know you, and I say thank you. So, and not necessarily meeting you guys recently. I've met you guys in the past when your community have gone through something like this before. So to all of you all, giving back and helping others and holding hands. I think sometimes even a word and a hug is all people need right now. Those 2 things I think are all people really, really need. A word and a hug, it really goes a long way in times like these. Bourbon got hit really, really hard to our south. Marshall County, Stark County as well. But Bourbon specifically, I want to just say, man, you guys are awesome. The resilience, the strength to come back and to be defiant in the face of what can be really tough, right? In the face of uncertainty. You guys are it is extremely inspirational. The Bourbon Volunteer Fire Department put something on Facebook, and I want to read this. We were supposed to have our baseball home opener tonight, and it was canceled due to the tornado. Tippecanoe Valley shows up with a bus. All of their players and coaches are on that bus just to help clean our parks, ball diamonds, and soccer fields. Class act, Valley, this means more than you know. The Valley. I want to give you guys a shout out. And then not only that, listen to this. This is what someone else posted on that post in a comment. Quote, Tippecanoe Valley Baseball was there to help. Glad to help. But do not forget to shout out your Triton baseball and softball teams too, who were there before we arrived and after we left. That's awesome. That right there, selfless, humility, respect for your fellow neighbors, something that we don't do often and I think we forget about in today's age. Like, my neighbor was literally my in-laws, and they were like, I mean, they are family, right? But neighbors, you don't hear people talk about it as much, right? A lot of people, they're not buying homes as much. They're renting, right? Or they're going to one place for 2 years and then moving on. You don't get that camaraderie in a lot of places anymore. And so to hear that from the Valley is inspirational. It really is. Triton School Corporation. Speaking of Triton, we just talked about the baseball and softball teams there. Triton School Corporation. Listen to this. This is from that superintendent for that district, Jeremy Riffle. Things like this are not easy. Your heart breaks for people with losses. But in the end, people come around them and show support and not just talk about it, but do it and get dirty and use your hands to help a neighbor is pretty awesome. That is what Jeremy Riffle told our team who was on the ground within hours of that storm passing through. PWI crane service out of Napanee, Elkhart County. They decided to go south, help out their fellow neighbor. Ryan Miller, with that group, brought a crew of about 15 volunteers with him Thursday to help residents of Bourbon, as a lot of their friends and family live in the town. That is according to our partners at the Warsaw Times Union. Huge, man. And again, these are just the names and groups that we know of. These are just the organizations that we know of. Imagine those who don't want their names out there publicly, who don't want the recognition, who are helping their neighbors through what could be the toughest time in their lives right now. We need to do that more often because sadly, these storms and things like them are happening more often. But to see that in a world where we don't agree on everything anymore and we can't disagree anymore, that's cool. That's great. That is inspirational. I want to give a shout out here. Everyone at WNDU wants to shout out NDOT. Thank you, the Department of Transportation. As soon as there's a semi that rolls over or a truck that falls over because of strong, powerful winds, NDOT is notified, and they usually respond along with state police just like that. So we want to thank all of our first responders, but not just police, fire, and AMBO. No. I just said NDOT, right? The Department of Transportation, huge. DNR, Department of Natural Resources, thank you as well. Especially this weekend where we're expecting some more rain. Nothing severe, I don't think, but that's important because DNR has a huge role in sandbagging process, for example, right? They have been initiated and activated to help that. 41 counties, at least in this state, have been impacted by these storms. DNR plays a huge role in making sure people are doing okay. And as the rivers continue to rise and creeks in some levels, I believe it's going to a different stage after this next rain event that we're going to get this weekend. We thank you in advance. There are a lot of people and a lot of groups and a lot of organizations, state-run, federally run, and run by grassroots operations that are working around the clock. I can tell you on the south side of the county Sunday night, right after those storms went through there, and I mean they were powerful. Those winds were powerful. Within an hour, you had utility crews out. Yeah, I didn't get power for about 24 hours or so, but utility crews were out there and they were cleaning up and assessing the damage, going back to their bosses to say, look, this is where we are right now here. These are how many power poles or utility poles are down right now. That's huge. Usually some places it takes weeks to get back on the grid. For many of you, many, not all, many of you, it took days, if not hours. So listen, I know a lot of people are complaining about the time to get things back on track in terms of power and lights and things like that. You have to understand, I think our team either, I know we were talking about it in the morning meeting. I don't know if we reported it or not, but there are a lot of teams that were already going to northern Michigan because of that ice storm. They got up there around the same time that we got hit. And so I'm not sure if that was one of the reasons for the delay, but I can tell you that no doubt impacts things in terms of the logistics of getting people to certain places quicker or sooner, right? So I get it. A lot of people still, and I don't call it impatience. Look, you want power, you pay for it, you want it. I get it. But I hope there's some understanding that comes with it about the importance of patience during this time. So I want to thank those groups. I want to say NDOT, of course, the Department of Transportation, the National Guard. Do not forget, please do not forget, when we say first responders, it's more than police, fire, and ammo. It is and should always include our first responders who are taking your calls. Our dispatchers are so important. They are crucial to everything. They're the first responders. And so I can only imagine how overwhelmed and inundated they could have been during this time, especially Sunday night, but then again midweek with those storms that came through. Thank you to our dispatchers. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do and continue to do. We don't talk about it enough. Utility crews and linemen and linewomen with NIPSCO, MEC, I&M, Mishawaka Utilities. If I missed one, I'm sorry. You get it. Thank you. I think Marshall County has one. If I forget the name of it, forgive me. Thank you. I know you guys have had teams devoted to getting power back, getting people back on the grid, getting businesses back up, getting the lights on. Thank you. To our street workers, sanitation workers, thank you. I know I'm missing several groups. Do not try me for forgetting several groups. I am literally, all of this is off the cuff. I have no teleprompter in front of me. There's nothing but a sheet of paper that I have with a couple of these notes. So I really hope you guys are doing well. And again, Marshall County, REMC, I have it in my notes. Thank you to the incredible crews. This is what they said, Marshall County REMC. A huge shout out to the incredible crews who have been by our side these past few days. We couldn't have done it without you. And then they go into detail and they talk about the Heartland REMC, Northeastern REMC, Miami Cass REMC, Miami Cass counties, of course, Mint City Utility Service, tree crews out there, the tree removal crews out there. Thank you. Y'all charge an arm and a leg sometimes, but thank you. Thank you. Because without you, we can't get rid of it on our own, or at least some people have. And for those who had to do that, we're thinking of you as well. Those homeowners, they work hard, man. So we're thinking all of you guys. Cooperation there is strength in being, there is strength in togetherness, I guess is what I want to say. There really is. There are, in this time, going to be a lot of scammers out there. There are going to be, some folks out there that are not too kind during this time. There are going to be a lot of people, groups, organizations who are trying to take advantage of you. Keep your head on a swivel. Be skeptical, but be smart. Think flexibly, but don't overthink. Don't stress yourselves out during the time. I talked to someone this week, Kenny Bird, who lost his home after not one but two trees fell on his home while his wife and two young kids, including a 2-month-old, were inside. And he says, it's not about me. We're safe. We're fine. We're staying down the street in a hotel. But I can tell you there are a lot of people who may not have survived what we were able to get through. And so it is about them. And that when you think you're going through the worst of moments, to think about potentially those who are going through worse. And that is something that I was awestruck by. His words were powerful. In a moment where you should be complaining and stressed and overworked and uncertain, he was more certain than anything that he will be able to get through this along with his family. So I'm imparting his advice onto you as well, because I think it could be really helpful during this time. The scammers out there, this is not about you. This is not your time. Those who are genuinely trying to help others, seeking help and relief right now, you are a godsend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm going to wrap this up, but I wanted to say something that I heard a long time ago, and it just stuck with me. And anytime we get storms like this, I always reiterate it in my reporting, at least, that during the worst in Mother Nature, the best in human nature comes out, almost always. And it usually overshadows anything and everything else. So that is what I want to leave you with tonight. I want you to think about that statement. That if you are looking up in your home and there is no roof right now, and you're looking out of your front door and that door is nowhere to be found anymore. And if you are flicking on the lights on the wall and no lights are coming on, and if you're trying to cook and realize, oh, my stove is electric, I cannot do that right now. We are thinking about you. But also, please know, you will get through this. You will get through this. You're not weak. You're not feeble. Sure, you're vulnerable right now, emotionally, mentally, and in some ways you may be compromised physically. But you will get through this. That's what community is all about. Lean on other people. You will not be judged. You will not be judged. And those who attempt to do a job they're not meant to do in terms of judgment, they'll learn real fast that they are not close to being equipped for that job. Lean on your loved ones, lean on your community, lean on family members. They want to help. And this is proof of it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching wherever you're watching your podcast. Thank you. Lauren Moss will be back. Some reprieve for a lot of you. I know she will be back soon. I cannot wait. Until then, we will see you next time on Something Extra.